السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. Today, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we reflect on another chapter of the Quran. Again, we are still in the Meccan chapters, and I will humbly share reflections on few verses from Surah Abasa. And these verses encourage us to break the habits and to ponder and reflect on something that we do habitually. So we eat always. We eat breakfast, we eat lunch, we eat dinner. But do we take the time to reflect on what we eat and how it came to our table? So the verse says, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَى طَعَامِهِ. Let the insan, the human, look at their food. Now, if you think about this, we are sitting there on the table. We are eating bread, we are eating meat, we are eating egg, drinking milk. Now, how does it come to us? فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَى طَعَامِهِ أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. So we send down rain. ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا. Then we split the land. So water go into the land. And then what happens? ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا فَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. So then comes from earth grain. And then the verse continues to mention all the different vegetations and fruits that come out of the land. Now here there is a very important message, that this is something that we do, we take it for granted, business as usual. But if we take a moment to reflect, there is an amazing system. How does water come to us? For a simple person, it just comes from the cloud. But scientifically, we know today that there is an amazing process, which is called the water cycle. So you have all these oceans. Oceans make about probably 3/4 of our planet. And they are all salty. Of course, there is a lengthy scientific explanation as to why it's salty. But the fact that salty is another indication of the beauty of our creation, that it keeps our oceans pure and clean. But we cannot use this water. So here comes the system of evaporation. So evaporation happens when the sun hits the oceans. Evaporation happens, and the water particles, they evaporate, and then comes the process of condensation. And from that process of condensation, then comes the fall of rain. So now what comes to us from the oceans is purified from salt, because salty water is not drinkable, or it's not usable it's not good for the plants, and it cannot be used by animals. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this amazing process of this water cycle, which we know more about it now scientifically. So that's how water comes, an amazing process happening. Perhaps we don't even think about it. And then rain comes. So what comes out of the land? Grain comes. فَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. And then what else? So there is a variety, and some of them are mentioned. وَعِنَبًا وَقَضْبًا. So comes inab, vine, and also all kinds of green vegetation. Think about it, from tomato to potato to all kinds, amazing variety. وَعِنَبًا وَقَضْبًا. And then you have the zaytun and wanakhla, the olive, and then you have the palm dates, وعنبا وزيتون وحدائق غلبة, dense orchards. You have I mean, all kinds of vegetation. Just think about it. Their color is different. Their taste is different. And how they grow is different. And that's an amazing system you find in place. It happens, every season, but we are used to it. So every morning we sit and we eat bread, we eat, we drink milk, but we don't take time to think about how these things came to be. There is an amazing system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. And this is the problem of what's known as al-ilf. When we get used to something, when we see it day and night, then we lose sight of the process that's behind it. And every time we sit on the table and we eat, we should take a moment to reflect and to say, Alhamdulillah. One of the du'as we make when we eat is to say, Alhamdulillahi alladhi at'amana wa saqana wa ja'alana muslimin. Praise be to Allah who fed us and who provided us with drink and made us Muslims. So a moment of appreciation. And the verse at the end says, وعنبا وقضبا وزيتونا وحدائق غلبا وفاكهة وأبا, fruits and fodder, متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم. This is for your consumption, for your enjoyment, not for us only, but also for animals. So we feed from it, animals feed from it. It's an amazing interconnected world that begins with evaporation, to condensation, to rain falling, touching the ground, and you have all these different grains and all these different vegetations, all these different types of fruits, all of it growing. We consume it, we enjoy it, the animals also consume it, and we also use the meat of the animal, the egg of the animal, we use honey. Just think about it. It's an amazing interconnected system indicating the Allah's creation, Allah's power, and indicating the oneness of Allah, because this is not just fragmented systems. This is one system that's connected from A to Z. And this is an encouraging for us as believers to be always alert, to be always aware, to see what we do, and to also enjoy it. Enjoy it and appreciate it. Appreciate the bread that we eat. Appreciate the water that we drink. Appreciate every blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First, they are signs of the creation of Allah, ayat of Allah. But also, these are things to be grateful, things to appreciate. And with appreciation comes also the importance of sharing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided us, and to realize also that as we have the right to consume these things, animals also have the right to consume what Allah has provided for them and to survive and to live. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.